The 49ers right now, the only team left in the Bay Area after the Raiders bolted for Las Vegas. Now the Niners have released what's a pretty interesting slogan for the season, which is Faithful to the Bay. Faithful to the Bay. Many think it's a shot at the Raiders. 49ers Chief Marketing Officer Alex Chang denied those claims, saying, quote, "We don't have a plan or strategy to convert Raiders fans. Sports fans are inherently loyal, as they should be. We as a team respect that loyalty," end quote. All right, in or out. Fans should be more loyal to their hometown teams rather than teams who move to other cities.
I'm going to say out of bounds of that, BT. You develop an affinity as a fan for a player or an organization, and even if they move, you can still stay loyal to them. I mean, yes, if another team comes back, and maybe the proximity allows you to become a fan of that team, great. Mm-hmm. But I don't think regional or local loyalty is a requisite any longer. Maybe in our day it was, but in 2020, that's definitely not the case.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to say out of bounds as well. I mean, I'll always side more with the local angle than you. I just grew up as a different kind of sports fan. We know that. It just means it's just different to me. But I get it. There's also circumstances. Think about this. The city of Oakland was not exactly helpful they haven't been helpful in getting the A's a new stadium, and they weren't helpful in figuring out a solution for the Raiders. So why would you be loyal to a hometown that didn't do enough to keep your team there? There's a lot of issues, but at the end of the day, I think it's uniquely dependent upon why the team left, number one. And but listen, I think this is a smart move by the 49ers. No matter what Alex Chang says, this is absolutely, you hear the term money grab. This is a fan grab down the road. Not now. Because if you're a Raiders fan and you're 20, 30, 40, 50 or beyond, you're going to stick with this team because it's embedded in your soul. But what now happens to the kids who were grown up in the suburbs, like Walnut Creek in Oakland, not far from Oakland. They're going to grow up without a team, and they're probably going to gravitate to the 49ers at some point. When you start going to school and everybody's wearing, representing a certain team, you're going to, not all of them, you'll get some converts, and I think that's smart. But I agree. I think it depends on the situation. You can't just blindly follow a hometown if your hometown's not doing the right thing. All right, the Rockets lost Game 3 thanks to the Lakers bench. One of the reasons why, anyway, 42-16, and we talked about this. All 16 came from Jeff Green. Nobody else. And two other players only played off the bench, so a very thin rotation. Now, where was sixth man Daniel House? Where is he? Whose house? Who was apparently suspended as the NBA investigates a protocol violation. Reports say House allegedly had a female COVID testing official in his room over the weekend, and the league is looking into it. All right, so we ran out of patience. Can't blame a guy, can you? If true, House should be suspended for the rest of the postseason.
Out of bounds, man. Come on. Is that really even a question? I don't even need to, expound. Out of bounds. He should not be suspended for the rest of the season. This is human nature. I mean, I don't know his personal situation, but I'm not judging it from afar.
Well, I'm not judging it either, but we do have to be fair about this. If you leave the bubble, you get quarantined or suspended, right?
Not leave the bubble.
I understand that, but
or did he bring someone from outside the bubble?
I understand that. But no, I know. But do we know that this female COVID testing official has been isolated to the bubble for 57 days? I doubt that she has.
I mean, why is she testing them then?
Well, again, my answer is out of bounds. I hear you.
You are thinking a little bit too hard on this.
Well, I like to look at it from all angles before I give my answer.
You need to look at this from one angle. One angle, period. These guys have been in the bubble for 60, 70 days.
Yeah, but, not everybody else is doing it.
Because most of these guys are married. They have families.
My answer is the same as you. There's no way he should be suspended for the rest of the postseason.
No.
That's ridiculous. You want to hit him with one more game? I'd actually be okay with that.
One more game, it's over.
I hear you. Well, that's too bad. You know the rules, though, Tiki. And again,
was this actually a rule? Was this actually a rule?
I'm sure he was made aware Well, that I can't
Don't
answer.
try to court the testing officials. Was that an actual rule? If it's not, then it shouldn't be suspended. Period. End of story.
I hear
These are two consenting adults.
Yeah.
Why are we even talking about it?
Well, I don't think it was worded that way, and I know you say that for effect. But if it was worded in a manner like, not only are you not allowed to leave the bubble, but also anybody who is a non-NBA official is not allowed in your room. I mean, if there's something out there, and I would imagine there is, then you got to pay the piper, even if it seems silly. I get it, and I get it. I get both ways. Rob Manfred, the commissioner, has hinted many times that the league is looking to expand. Now, some cities that have been thrown around, we've hit this many times. Montreal, could they get a team back? Las Vegas has proven to be a viable professional outlet already with hockey and now football. Portland's been thrown out there, though Portland's got other issues. Charlotte, Vancouver, and Nashville has been thrown out there. Now, yesterday, Justin Timberlake released a statement announcing that he is part of the group hoping to bring a team to Nashville, with the closest team being the Braves 250 miles away. Nashville should get a Major League Baseball team. In a round.
If it's just one team, if I had to pick out of all of these, I'd probably say out of bounds. But if it's you don't multiply by one, you multiply by two.
Boom.
I would say, I'd say Las Vegas for geographical balance and Nashville make a lot of sense. Nashville is proven, so I'm going to say inbounds. Nashville is proven to be a robust sports town. We obviously know that college sports are big there with the University of Tennessee, not far away. And with hockey, the Predators, and in Tennessee, the Grizzlies. And so, I'm going to say inbounds to this one. It makes sense.
I'm going to say inbounds as well. Tiki and I were out there for the draft. Not this past year. There was no draft in person, obviously, the year before. And the place was on fire.
That's right.
How great is Nashville?
Dude, it was awesome.
Nashville's money.
They had a marathon going on.
I know.
Like at the same time.
I know.
Met this great woman in the bar, remember? And she was running for her husband who was paralyzed. I can't remember how.
No, he had...
or MS. He had something like that.
I believe it was MS, and they were all running the marathon for him. I remember that very well because I picked up the bill that night.
That's right. That's right.
I do remember that. That was a good meal. Actually paid for Santa. I must have been drunk if I paid for that guy. All right, so I would say, listen, all these cities, I'm not a fan of Mexico. I'm just not at this point. Montreal... when the Expos were cooking, it was great. They obviously need a far less antiquated venue, but I believe Montreal's viable. I would say no to Las Vegas. At that point, it seems a little too stuffy, a little too crowded, in my opinion. I've actually vouched for Portland in the past. I think that Portland would be a good baseball city. I'd have to check on the weather a little bit more, but
I don't know enough about it. Vancouver,
it's like Seattle. Seattle makes it work.
True.
Seattle makes it work.
That's a great point.
I thought Charlotte with the banking industry has been very viable. So I've actually, Montreal, Portland, Charlotte, Vancouver a little bit. These are all good. If I had to pick two, I would pick Nashville 1, and I'd go back up to Montreal. Those would be my two. After seeing the rule for more than half the season now, a little bit more than half, we do want to see the extra inning rule stay long term. In or out?
I'm going to say out of bounds, BT. It's. I don't want to say it's too easy, but it's almost too easy because if you're the bottom half of, say, the extra, you're the home team.
Yep.
All you need is a hit, and the game's over. It's not like
you don't even need a hit. You can get a sacrifice, a wild pitch, a balk, and then a pop up to the outfield.
That's true. But in theory, you could get up at bottom of the extra innings. In this case, it's the 8th inning. Get up at the bottom of the 8th inning, yet a dribbler to left field, and game's over. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say out of bounds. I don't think I want to see this permanent.
I'm going to say inbounds with a slight modification. I wouldn't mind pushing that back to like anything beyond inning 11. Yeah, I'll give the bullpens a little chance to distinguish themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
get a couple of regular.
Yeah,
and then if it's this thing's going to go forever, all right, put a runner on second base.
Correct, because think about the essence of the rule. That's a preventative measure. That's really why. It's just to expedite things and make sure you're not there all night and guys aren't further exposed and gals and team staff aren't further exposed to COVID-19. So, if this was next year, I would say, you know what, let them play the 10th and the 11th. Traditionally, you want to throw that in the 12th. I'm all for it. I think it's been pretty cool. Although it burned the Yanks the other night. Tyler Wade was on second base. He got doubled off. We lost.
Right.
So you don't always win.
That's right.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.